Coming to you from Project 4 Studios in sunny Burbank, California, ArtSchool Records presents On the Green Couch.
So welcome to our official bye week, Bill. Just say thank you.
Thank you.
You were in New York for 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Dixie took some time off as well and didn't book anybody while you were away. So there's no interview.
I'm going to have to talk to him about that.
Yeah, there's no interview for tonight's podcast. But I did have some stuff that I wanted to talk to you about. You are working on a new record. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Brain stuff?
I'm thinking of calling it Fall,
Oh, okay.
but it has to do with brain stuff, like the resuscitation of dead brains and uploading brains to computers and life after death insofar as it relates to the brain and chemical composition and how the internet affects our brain and your brain on the internet and goats.
Okay. Yeah, no, because we always joke about this. Like, I always go, oh, brain stuff. And you're like, yeah, brain stuff.
It is brain stuff.
It's brain stuff. But what was the spark that got you going on down this road of brain stuff?
It was there was an article in the New York Times Magazine maybe 3 months ago now about these three scientists that were working together resuscitating dead pig brains.
And that just kind of sparked the whole thing off.
And there was an article in there about this woman who has bipolar disorder it was in the Sunday Review section. And then in the book review that same week was a review of the Neil Stephenson novel Dodge in Hell. And the three of those things together and subsequently me reading that book. Yeah. All right. So the reading of those three articles and then the reading of that book was like really the catalyst. And then you, as head of the label, had me working on a soundtrack for Tatiana Paris's short movie Memoirs of a Dead Bitch, because it was dealing with, nominally anyway, death. I was thinking about like life after death, and it was playing into the whole like the dead brain thing. And so I was there was a whole milieu around everything that I was doing and reading that was feeding into it. And now there's this new appendage that's grown on to the thing, which is all about like life on, in, around, and off of the internet and technology and how that all interacts. And so you could see like, oh, okay, so what if I like upload a brain onto the internet sort of a thing, like, or artificial intelligence, things like that, or the Terminator or the Matrix, just like, or Blade Runner. I don't know. There's a lot of really crazy science writing and science fiction that are sort of cross-pollinating in my brain as I make music right now.
Yeah.
About this record specifically.
Yeah. Because you had a breakthrough kind of in New York, because I know you took your music with you.
It goes with me everywhere I go, Raz.
I know. But physically, I gave you a hard drive.
Oh yeah, you did. I work on it at the studio, and you gave me a hard drive to take with me out east, and I just had some downtime on my hands, and that's when I was reading. The Times published a copy of the Sunday magazine that's got this like disgruntled cat on the cover, and it's all about the internet. And there's this thing about one of the early articles in the magazine's about the notion of a paywall, and just like how 10 years ago we were all sort of just like, well, duh, yeah, the internet's going to make everything free, and now it's I talk constantly to people about like, oh, what shows are you watching? Oh, I'm on Disney Plus. Oh, you're not? You're on Amazon Prime? It's like, oh, okay, well, we don't share the same media intake then. And it's these weird, fracturings of, it's basic, oh God. I got to say, jumping ahead here, okay. Somebody smart is going to do what Disney is already doing on a micro scale by packaging ESPN, National Geographic, all of their, their fairy tale movies, the Star Wars movies, Marvel, all of that, and putting it in Disney Plus. Somebody's going to do that, and and Hulu is in on that too, and the Fox catalog because Disney bought Fox. All right. So they're going to do that, and they're going to combine it with Netflix and a subscription to Spotify, and they're going to do it with Amazon Prime. And you know what you're going to have?
What?
A cable package.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Years ago, I used to subscribe to Wired magazine, and this is before
Good magazine.
Good magazine, right? And this is kind of before the iPhone and the whole app-based technology was coming out. And then I read this article, and they were saying that the internet is wide open now, but with app-based technology, the internet is going to close up because companies like Disney and companies like ABC and Hulu and stuff like that, they create apps, and as opposed to just logging on to www whatever, you have to now use an app to get to what you want. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of like they were foreseeing that the fact that the internet is no longer going to be open and free because it's now being closed off with apps and, gatekeepers. And honestly, that was the intention with the cable companies. They own the airwaves anyways. So the intention was to not have a free and open internet. It was just to have another, subscription thing.
The walled garden.
Yeah.
Program or be programmed.
Yeah. Right. Because nobody, like, when somebody wants something, they don't want to, they don't go online. They don't go www. They pull up an app. They go, oh, I'll just pull up my ESPN app.
Yeah. That's the framework through which things are being viewed now.
Yeah.
Less through web browsers, more through compartmentalized.
Right. But I tell you, I still do that. I still do web browser stuff. I'm an Archer fan. I love the we've talked about animation, Archer. And I was like, oh, it's on Hulu. And I was like, I was like, I haven't seen the last season 9. And I kind of downgraded my Hulu subscription because it's, there's nothing on there to watch. So I was like, oh.
Strong disagree, but go ahead.
Okay. That's fine. We can agree to disagree. So I was like, I wonder if I can watch Archer online. So I pulled up a web browser and I just typed in Watch Archer Online. And there is a website called Watch Archer Online, and I can watch all the episodes.
Sweet. So right, fucking literal.
Right. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing about the open internet is that was the concept. If I wanted to watch a movie, you were supposed to type in into the search bar, watch, the Poseidon Adventure online, and it would, I don't know where that came in, but anyways,
Poseidon Adventure, not a real movie.
It's a total,
it is?
Yeah, from the movies, from the 70s. Yeah.
Oh, okay, well,
yeah, it was remade in, I don't know, the 90s or something like that. I was sometimes like words just pop into my head.
Sure.
So yeah, so we can call it what? Okay, how about this? Watch Jumanji online. That's a movie, right?
It's 3 movies now.
Right. So anyways, but that's the way that's the way the open internet was supposed to behave.
It's going to be weird, man. 10 years from now, I wonder how much more corralled and diminished the vibrancy of the internet will be.
Well, they'll be able to listen to Brain Stuff on your Zunkin app.
Yo, Zunk app coming to you 2025. In pre-pro now.
In pre-pro now. But I'm excited because I remember when you first came in with Brain Stuff, you kind of walked in and your hair was all like
kind of how it is right now.
Just all over the place. You're like, Brain Stuff. And I was like, yeah, Brain Stuff.
For listeners, find a picture of Christopher Lloyd in Back to the Future and grab a Sharpie and just color in his hair. And that's kind of how I looked when I came in.
Yeah, no, you walked
instead
in.
of flux capacitor, just write brain stuff
Yeah.
on that.
It was like that scene. You just walked in, you're like, dude, brain stuff. And of course I obliged. I was like, yeah, totally brain stuff. Because I hadn't talked to you in a while. And when you told me that you had made some momentum, you had some momentum on
Yeah.
brain stuff, I was excited, and I just wanted to get caught up.
Well, yeah, I guess, I don't know, to go behind the curtain a little bit, we taped the last 3 episodes ahead of time, and we did all of those intros ahead of time. So, you'll have to forgive us for not mentioning the giant squid that fell on top of Tulsa, Oklahoma last week when our episode with Eleanor came out.
Oh, that's a Watchmen reference?
Yeah. Aubrey and I are watching that show right now,
okay.
the new one.
Oh, the new one.
But yeah, good catch.
Thanks. But yeah, we pre-taped those shows. We banked them, as they say. That's podcast.
That's showbiz.
Yeah, we banked those episodes, and then I hadn't talked to you
Since last night when we went to the horrible Kings Rangers game.
Yeah.
Anybody who watches our Instagram or Facebook feed will see an appearance by us, a company outing.
Right. At the Rangers game.
At the Rangers game.
Yeah.
You didn't get a chance to talk to Sochi much, right?
No.
Our friend there, she is my absolute favorite psychopath.
Oh, she was the one that was screaming profanities at the people behind us.
Yeah. At the end of the game, she's just getting up, flipping the bird, cursing out Kings fans in the rows behind us. It was incredible. I would not want to be stuck in a dark alley with her. I would not want to be on her bad side, but being around her at hockey games is like the perfect environment. She's like an absolute, she's totally mental.
Yeah, no, she was great. We went to dinner first, and she was, nice and,
Yeah.
very like pleasant. And the minute we got into the arena, she turned into an animal. And it was just like, I mean, that's always fun.
Hockey's a weird space like that. It allows for you to be, to like the music that they play at hockey games. It's kind of living in the past. Like nowhere else will you hear. Who does that version of Black Betty?
Oh, Ram Jam?
Yeah. Where else are you going to hear that other in like
my playlist?
Yeah, your period pieces, basically. When Quentin Tarantino makes his 70s rock movie, that'll be there.
Yeah, the guys in Ram Jam are stoked. They get like a check every month from hockey games.
There's some sort of mass license big arenas like that pay so that they can use kind of like a whole swath of licensed stuff, which is how Trump was able to use the Rolling Stones for his arena spots when he's going out on the road, even though they told him to fuck off, you wanker, or whatever the English say.
that was pretty good.
I think that's what Mick Jagger sounds like, right?
Did you go to any Christmas parties when you were back?
No, I went to a Thanksgiving party because it was November.
That's why you didn't go to any Christmas parties.
No.
So you went to Thanksgiving parties.
Yeah. Saw my grandmother a bunch of times. Hung out with a bunch of cousins. A cousin of mine had a birthday the week before we were there, and in the sidebar, New York City, home of the best neighborhood-based acronyms. For example, Dumbo. It's a neighborhood in Brooklyn. Stands for Down Underneath the Manhattan Bridge Overpass.
I did not know that.
We were hanging out in Dumbo. My cousin Sierra had a laser tag party. I swept the floor with everybody. To give you an idea, I had a score of about 1,000. The next nearest score was something like 400. And then was kind of like 400, 300, 200. I am the best. I challenge anybody to prove me otherwise. To the point where the staff at the laser tag place asked if I was ex-military.
Wow.
I think I was just the only one not drinking.
Right.
But that happened. Did you go to any Thanksgiving parties?
I did not. I went to a Christmas party. That's why I asked. But it was not during the Thanksgiving thing. It
was within the first week of December.
was within the first week of December. It was Amy from our haunted house episode. Invited
Listeners, go back and check out the haunted house episode.
Right. She also puts on like a Christmas party. And
she's just checking all the major holiday
just
boxes.
checking the major holiday. So it was good. It was fun. They had this great band called the Happiness Band.
I said this to you last night. Good band name.
Good band name.
Solid band name.
They were really great. The average age was probably about 69.
Of attendees or of band members?
Of band members.
Okay.
Like the youngest guy, the kid, was probably like in his 56. But they were great. It was a guitar player, bass player, keyboardist, saxophone player, and drummer.
It's a tight outfit.
Yeah, and they played all kinds of they were playing traditional, Christmas stuff, and they doing some classic swing stuff, and some waltzes and whatever. But they were tight. They were super tight, and they all had like music stands in front of them, and they were just reading off the music stands and stuff like that. And they were just killing it, and they were doing like a cha-cha, and then all of a sudden they just busted into Uptown Funk. And it was like this crazy extended version, and they were just going for it. It was pretty great. It was pretty great just to have like a really just great, unassuming band. They had the black suits and the white shirts and the black ties and stuff like that. It was very, it was very Tarantino, and it was very. But I got dressed up for it, right? I got dressed up for it.
Yeah, I can see your coat is still in here,
coat was here.
with your hat, with your Santa hat. You're like office party Santa over here,
right.
Tweed coat.
Right. Yeah, I did my professor look. So
Santa with tenure.
Yeah, Santa. So like I tied, and this was my long route to get to this point. I put a bow tie on, so I wore a bow tie. Ooh. Right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hard to tie.
But I learned how to tie a bow tie a couple of years ago.
And it's taken you this long to perfect it.
No, and it's like one of those things that I do maybe once or twice a year, or even I skip a year and I never tie a bow tie. But how to tie a bow tie, and this kind of ties into brain stuff, stays in my head, right? And I was thinking about it afterwards. I kind of came back and I'm home and I put my bow tie back in the closet and stuff like that, and I'm thinking, this is the least useful thing that I know. Right? It is. It's like the least useful thing. I was trying to think of like other things that I know that are less useful, but everything I've come up with is more useful than knowing how to tie a bow tie. And it's not like I have to go back and reread the instructions on how to tie a bow tie. Like that just stayed in my brain on how to tie a bow tie. It's just there. But again, I would gladly trade it for something else a little bit more useful. Like if I knew how to open a can of tuna fish with a screwdriver, I would replace that with the bow tie thing.
You don't know how to do that?
I don't. Right? And I was thinking, because
don't you just pry the lid? It's just folded around the edge. That's how they press them on.
Okay. Well, now I guess I know.
It's like when you open a bottle of beer with a lighter.
I can't even do that. But I know how to tie a bow tie. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. It's the least useful thing. Like, and what certain, like I can see someone going, "Oh my God, we're in a situation. This is our last bottle of water, but we can't open it." And somebody goes, "I know how to open it with, a cigarette lighter or whatever." That's like a useful thing. Or you're out in the jungles and you're having like, "I know how to open a can with a rock," that type of stuff that I don't know how to. I can't come up with a scenario where I can go, "Wait a minute, guys, I know how to tie a bow tie," and that kind of saves the day. It doesn't even need to even save the day.
Schwarzenegger never had to do that to like kill the bad guy.
Right. Yeah. So it's been on my mind. It's been like, I have to say, it's kind of haunting me that this useless bit of information has stayed with me for so long. And okay, years ago, I was studying motion graphics.
Mhm.
And it was before, like, After Effects was really kind of big. There was a program called Shake, and it was like a node-based type of thing. So you had to build a node tree, and everything off the node, you put in different things to different nodes in different ways, and you get a different reaction. And it's still used in a lot of stuff, but it's very complicated and stuff like that. And I remember I was going down that rabbit hole. I was like, I'm going to be a Shake artist, and I'm going to learn this whole node tree. And for weeks, I was just studying different nodes and how they all affected things and everything like that. And, like the human brain is kind of like, it's like a giant glass. And then, all your knowledge is like water that's filling in that glass. And then all of a sudden, when you put in new water into an already full glass, some of that water that's in the glass kind of overflows and goes to the edges and is never seen again. So I'm studying all this, and I'm like going, oh, okay, I get how to do this. And I decide, you know what, I'm going to go take a break. I'm going to go to the store and I'm going to get some lunch. And I've been studying all this nodal stuff. And I knew I knew where all these things were happening on this node tree and all this type of stuff. So I go to the checkout and I put in my card and the lady goes, you have to put in your PIN. And my mind went blank. And to this day, I can never remember my PIN. I have to write it down and put it in my wallet. It's one of those things that
Oh, rats.
it got flushed. It got flushed with all this other useless information, that I never retained. And so I guess there was a hole that was left. And I think tying the bow tie replaced that. And this is going to sandbag you right now. What's your least useful thing, if you can think of?
I mean, I have, this takes the form of I can recite nearly line for line the dialogue from Ghostbusters, but I can't remember my mother's birthday.
There you go.
It's things that I have, it's not I don't know, I probably could start up an MS-DOS computer, but I can't fix a car, or what I can do is not helpful. Just it takes different forms. I had a science teacher in high school who was impressed upon me the notion of multiple intelligences, and of kind of people being geared towards different things basically. And oh boy, have I leaned on that as a crutch ever since. Just to be listen. It doesn't matter if I don't know how to manage money. I'm smart in a different way. Let me paint you a picture
Right.
of how I don't know how to manage money.
Right, but that's yeah. That's when the person that knows how to manage money goes to the artist, goes, well, I don't know how to paint. I know how to manage money. And,
Since I have all the money, let me pay you to make a picture.
yeah. So
And then who has the money? Squares.
that's right. Yeah. But anyways, I thought that would tie into the brain stuff a little bit. The fact that
Our brains are so bad at knowing things.
well, it's just kind of funny.
What are we trying to resuscitate all these dead brains for? All they know how to do is quote Arnold Schwarzenegger, tie bow ties, and the secret pipe you're supposed to take in Super Mario Brothers 3.
I don't even know what that is.
Don't worry about it. It's useless is my point.
Right.
It's not valuable knowledge.
Yeah.
Tonight, or when next we tape, we'll be taping with a band, and then we'll have a couple of year-end roundups. I think we're planning a holiday episode.
We've been planning a holiday episode.
We're working on it. We're trying. We'll no hard guarantees on that, but we'll probably have at least one sort of year-end roundup kind of an operation.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get a bunch of guests in.
That'd be
for
nice.
The end of our first year.
Doing a We Are the World.
Yes.
Yeah.
There we are. Or what's the one? Feed the World.
Feed the World. Yeah.
I like that one better.
Yeah. That was wasn't that the Bob Geldof?
I don't know. It's the one that had all the 80s people. It's a catchier melody.
Yeah, I think that was Bob Geldof. I think Run DMC was in it too.
In Feed the World?
I don't know. No, I actually went. All right. I actually went down on a little Christmas music rabbit hole.
I know. I've been seeing our Spotify action has been the company Spotify has what is it? A Jazzy Little Christmas?
Yeah.
Was that the album you downloaded? I mean, to me, Christmas sounds like jazz music.
Yeah. But I remember when MTV had their very special Christmas.
Groan.
Yeah. Well, and at the time.
When was this? Was it in the 80s?
Yeah, it was in the 80s.
Oh, yeah, especially. It's just like.
Yeah. And I remember like it was kind of cool because like Bon Jovi was doing, Run Run Rudolph or whatever. No, Santa Claus is coming to town. And I remember Run DMC doing Christmas in Hollis.
Yes.
So, and I really like that song. So I was like, oh, I'm going to go, look at on Spotify, very special Christmases. And I
Were
didn't
you able
realize.
to find the playlist?
Yeah. But they had 3 more or 2 or 3 more afterwards. So I was like, I didn't even know that. I thought it was
Ooh, volumes 2 and 3. What's up?
oh my God.
Who was on some of the later ones? Were there any choice, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like Soundgarden makes an appearance on like volume 4 or something?
No, this is it's even before that. But like the first one was really good. It had Chrissy Hine and the Pretenders doing Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, which was a nice one.
Pretty good.
Yeah. So I had a really good feeling about that when I was growing up. I remember, oh, this is like such a cool thing, because prior to that, most of the Christmas stuff was like jazz music and,
Or Bing Crosby.
Right.
White Christmas.
Yeah. You're like 15. You're like, oh, this fucking sucks. Right. So when it came out, I was like, oh yeah, like cool, Run DMC and stuff like that. So I went on to the second one, V2, Volume 2.
Dope.
And I was like, oh, hey, Run DMC has another song on there. And it was so bad. I was like, all right, this is really bad. And then I got 2 more songs in and I was like, oh my God, I can't, I couldn't even go to Volume 3. Some of that stuff doesn't really translate. Like Cyndi Lauper doing, Rocking Around the Christmas Tree doesn't really. I don't even know if it was her, but it was. I don't know. It just doesn't hold up.
How do you feel about Mannheim Steamroller?
I don't even know how I should feel.
What do you mean? Like, do you know who they are? Okay. Off mic, we're gonna do a deep dive on some of the worst. Oh, interesting. How about what do you think of the Trans-Siberian Orchestra stuff?
Yeah, no, those. Yeah, I like those. I like that.
Well, all right. So, Mannheim Steamroller is like Trans-Siberian Orchestra, but like more synthesizers.
Oh, okay.
Less harmonized guitars.
Oh, I like the harmonized guitars.
More, like more Moog.
Okay. No, because I get in the Christmas spirit. I really do. I get all like sentimental, and I get excited. I was watching a football game on Sunday, and it was on CBS, and they had, Tuesday night, Rudolph is on. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. The Rankin Bass claymation ones.
Yeah, all the claymation ones. And
awesome.
I just, I was like, oh my God, Monday night I'll tune in at 8 at CBS. I'm like, no, I won't, because A, I don't have the CBS app, right? And it's like a paywall. And B,
yeah, it infuriating that CBS boxes their stuff off like that.
Right. And then B, I could just type in watch Rudolph.
Oh, yeah.
Online. Right?
And we're back.
And we're back. We're back. We're back to the internet. So, yeah. But anyways, I get that Christmas. I get a little bit by the Christmas bug.
What was it called? MTV Very Special Christmas?
Yes.
Oh, they've got like the Keith Haring illustrations on the cover.
Yes. List off some of the songs and artists off of these MTV Very Special Christmas.
Santa Claus is Coming to Town by the Pointer Sisters. Winter Wonderland by the Eurythmics. Do You Hear What I Hear by Whitney Houston. Merry Christmas Baby by Springsteen. Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, The Pretenders. I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus by J.C. Mellencamp. Gabriel's Message by Sting, Christmas and Hollis, Run DMC. Christmas, Baby Please Come Home, sung by U2. Santa Baby, Madonna. The Little Drummer Boy by Bob Seger. Run Rudolph Run by Bryan Adams. Backdoor Santa, is a horrible name, by Bon Jovi. The Coventry Carol, Alison Moyet, and Silent Night by Stevie Nicks. That's volume 1.
Right. That's the good one.
That's the good one.
That's the good one.
Oh, here we go. A Very Special Christmas Series. There's 1987, 1992, 97. A Very Special Christmas Live from Washington, D.C. in 99. Number 5 in 2001. A Very Special Acoustic Christmas in 2003. Number 7 in 2009. A Very Special Christmas 25 Years Bringing Joy to the World, 2012. A Very Special Christmas Bringing Peace on Earth, also 2012. And Icon, A Very Special Christmas, 2013.
Wow. I didn't realize there were so many of them. I stopped after.
A Very Special Christmas 5 is the 5th in a Very Special Christmas series of Christmas-themed compilation albums produced to benefit the Special Olympics. Okay.
Okay, now I feel like a dick.
Several of the tracks' albums were recorded live in Washington, D.C. in December 2000 at a benefit concert hosted by then-President Clinton and First Lady Clinton. The album was released on 30th October 2001 with production supervision by Bobby Shriver, John Bon Jovi, and Joel Gallen for A&M Records.
Right, but the first one wasn't 2001, was it? The very first one?
No, that was 1987.
Okay.
I'm looking at number 5 just to see, like, who, like, Silent Night by Stevie Nicks is back on it again.
Wow.
Again, I guess it's Bon Jovi, also on this one. The song Backdoor Santa makes an appearance again, this time by B.B. King and John Popper. Woof.
Yeah.
That sounds like some.
Yeah.
That sounds like some shit.
Right. We'll leave it at that. Do you get bit by the Christmas bug a little bit, or are you just?
It's weird. I don't know. I'm like Linus, you know. I'm just kind of like, or maybe I'm more like Charlie Brown, where I'm just kind of like, man, what's up with all the commercialism? What's the deal? And then my pet starts like hanging up lights.
Right. To me, it's about the commercialism. You know, growing up religious, it like sucked all the fun out of it.
What, the birth of the Son of God?
Yeah, but
no fun.
No fun.
No
but
fun.
Let's be honest.
God.
Let's be honest. There's no way that like a toddler was going to be born in the wintertime in the desert where it's freezing out.
In a barn.
In a barn. Yes. So, you know, people take it a little too seriously, and that's fine. And like, I don't, you know, one of the things we have is we don't talk about politics really on this podcast. I don't talk about religion. I'm just going to say that growing up religious, it tended to suck the fun out of Christmas.
I was listening to a guy today. There's another podcast that I listened to called The Anthropocene Reviewed, and the guy on there was talking about how there's the line in the Bible, like it's easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to get into heaven. Mm-hmm. He once had a priest tell him, so many people take basically all of the Bible literally, like Pentecostals, like take all of the Bible literally, except for that one line, when it is the only line in the Bible that is written to be meant literally.
Right. Yeah.
So the idea of like, you know, God incarnate being born in the middle of the desert in the winter in a barn, maybe, I think I remember learning that like that it ended up on December 25th as sort of being like a Romanization of the holiday. Like it just had to do with like, is that the solstice? The first day of winter? Winter solstice?
Yeah, it's a winter solstice.
It's like
thing.
it's like a winter festival, sort of like accommodating the widespread acceptance of Christianity within the empire.
Right. Right.
That it ended up being kind of like that date as opposed to another. Coming back from Thanksgiving, I brought a contemporary English translation of the New Testament, so I'll read through and see if I can't find a.
Maybe we'll have you do chapter 4.
Which verse?
Yeah, but I think, like growing up, like I said, one of the things that I kind of found, and I think this is why I have like a special soft spot for the Rankin Bass, Rudolph, and all that type of stuff, is because that was my joy. When those things came on, it was like, I was like, oh, okay, it's kind of Christmas now,
Island of Misfit Toys.
Yeah.
Hurrah.
Yeah. So I think that's why I kind of relate to, those things. And that's why I think kind of going back to, and maybe I'm going to backtrack a little bit, but that's where I think that my opinion is that the religious aspect kind of takes the fun out of it, because as a child, that's what kind of happened to me. And the only parts that were fun are the things that Charlie Brown was complaining about.
Would you want to hear an original song about Christmas by the Smashing Pumpkins? You can on a very special Christmas Volume 3.
Oh, man. No, I think I'm good. And,
How about Oi to the World?
Oi,
performed by No Doubt.
I would love to just kind of play a bit on the podcast, but in the spirit of Christmas, Sony Music would come and rain holy hell on us. So we'll just leave it at that. So,
do you want to hear Chris Cornell sing Ave Maria?
No.
How about an original song by Blues Traveler?
Oh, Blues Traveler, yeah. No, I'm going to pass. At this point, I'm actually sorry I brought up this whole, we went down this whole path. I think we'll kind of leave it on the Christmas thing, even though it's kind of early for Christmas.
Well, it's December. You've already been to a Christmas party.
I've already been to a Christmas party. And
weird, but you've already done it.
I've already done it. It was early. It was good. But I think we'll end the bye week.
How about Santa Baby with Reverend Run and the Christmas All-Stars, featuring Mace, Puff Daddy, Snoop Doggy Dogg, Salt and Peppa, Onyx, and Keith Murray. That's all one track doing Santa Baby. How? Well, you can find out on a very special Christmas Volume 3 as presented by A&M Records in 1997.
With that, we'll wrap up our bye week.
A duet with Sinatra and Cyndi Lauper. Santa Claus is coming to town. Weird.
You're just not going to let me wrap this up, are you, Bill?
No. I'm not. Christmas Time Again is performed by Extreme. Yeah, Run DMC is on every volume of A Very Special Christmas.
Yeah, that's a good gig.
I mean, I thought that Mariah Carey was the person whose career was best extended by Christmas, and then second place would be like Jesus, and then like third apparently is Run DMC.
Run DMC, right? Totally. Yeah. I'm surprised they haven't put out their own Christmas album, but please don't go down that road right now.
Wikipedia is calling.
Okay.
All right. So we'll see you.
Now we're going to wrap up.
We'll see you in a week.
We'll see you in a week. We'll get on Dixie to get some more people in here.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully we'll have our own very special Christmas show here on the Green Couch.
A Very Special Christmas Volume Green Couch.
We'll see if Run DMC is available. Bill.
Raz.
Thank you for being on the Green Couch.
Merry Christmas. On the Green Couch is a production of ArtSchool Records in conjunction with and recorded at Project 4 Studios in Burbank, California. The show is edited by Raz, with additional production support by Dixie Trussell. Please remember to subscribe, rate, and review us in Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. It all goes to helping other people find us. For more information, please visit our forever home on the web at artschoolrecords.com. I'm Bill Zunkin, and thanks for listening.